Saturday was a pretty disappointing day, I think, to say the least. I mean, has that fog lifted at all as Monday rolled around?
It's just so hard to understand why when we go to St. Joseph, Missouri at Spratt Stadium that we play like that. It's just unbelievable some of the things that happen, like the very first interception. I'm still watched the video 100 times. I just don't know how that ball ends up laying on Travis's back. The punt, we got one guy, we got him blocked, and then our back wall separates, and Cam sees it, steps to the side, and of course there's another guy there to make the block. Cormany fumbles, Jack steps up in the pocket to throw a ball to a check down receiver and gets hit and fumbles the ball. I mean, just all these different scenarios, a pick six. I mean, for some reason when we go there, we just don't play very well at all. I mean, I thought defensively, we had short fields. When they had to go to long field, they didn't really do much. It's always, 5 yards, 5 and in, they score a touchdown. The ball's on the 1 yard line, they score a touchdown. The ball's on the 30, they score a touchdown. And then we just gave them 28 points, in that ball game. But we got to figure out a way to break that hex there or whatever's going on. And we got to find out a way to break it. But our kids have watched film today, and there were some really good things we did, in that ball game after watching it. But it's those few moments that cost us that ball game. So learn from it. Hopefully our kids will grow from it and be better this week.
Seemed like Jack did a lot of really good things, but then when he made a mistake, it was a bad one that had a lot of implications. Just maybe thoughts on his play Saturday.
It was, there were some times he made some really nice throws. A couple times he scrambled and made some nice throws out of the pocket, and then sometimes, I think he had a lot of pressure in his face all day. It felt like to me, just while we're sitting there and even watching the game, there was just. Sometimes there was a lot of pressure, and then sometimes there was no pressure at all. And as a quarterback, you're going to have pressure, and it's just getting used to having that and getting used to getting hit and making those throws. But he did some really good things in that ball game as well. It's just you wish you could take those picks away and take away that fumble. If we could take those away, and I felt like the whole time, even though it was 21-7, that we were going to come back and find a way to win this ball game because it just felt like maybe the tides were going to turn just a little bit, but. There's some things he's got to work on still, but that's our entire team, right? There's still some timing things going on as well with, the offensive line and, different guys playing each week as well. So we'll get it figured out. We'll get it worked out. We just got to keep grinding and keep plugging along and, try to get these freshmen to grow up. Because you see them playing as freshmen, they're a really talented group of kids. They're just freshmen trying to play against juniors and seniors right now.
Kind of mentioned the line. Jack was sacked 7 times. Probably not all on them, but just how your evaluation of the offensive line's play.
They just got to get better and be more solid, and being able to pick up certain things with the defensive line and seeing certain blitzes and those things. I'm really upset about the 3rd and 2. We make one block, or the 4th and 2. We get it. It's just the one block away from getting that first down, and maybe that changes the whole momentum of the game, but. Or maybe I shouldn't have went for it. You always start to questioning those things. But, I got to believe my kids that they're going to get, 2 yards on 4th down when we need it to get back in this game. But, they just need to grow up, and they need to move their feet better, and they need to, use their hands a little bit more. And, and I think sometimes they over-jump set sometimes. And I think sometimes they run past things, and I think sometimes they run past the twist as well. But, again, they're young guys trying to figure these things out and get better. But, it's going to take some time, and hopefully this week we can work on those things, because I see Coach Bryant, every single day working techniques, fundamentals, the things that they need to do to be great offensive linemen. They just need to start putting that into action.
Do you stick with pretty much with the game plan when you get down 14-0 early like that with the interception, then the block punt leading to the other score? It happens so quickly into the game. What do you tell your players when something like that happens so early in the game?
Just relax, right? Everything's fine. It's just a real quick turn of events. We got the players and the guys on this team that can come back and win this ball game. Still plenty of game left to play. Even in the, second half, we were still down 14-0. We still got plenty of time to come back and win that ball game. So, they just got to relax and play hard and quit making mistakes and don't panic, and don't let the moment get too big for you again, which – I thought at times our kids looked really, really good and did some really, really good things, but then we just made some stupid mistake that cost us each, during that game.
Is that the mark of a young team, is the lack of consistency?
Yep, it always is. One week they're really good and start feeling confident, and then things kind of slack off just a little bit in practice, thinking things that they're going to make these plays and win this ball game. But it was a good talk that we had after the game with the maturity of this team. We need to mature and to grow and understand what's happening, and try to get better and not take any team lightly, especially in this conference, because every team in this conference is very good. I think some of these guys felt since we beat Northwest that this next game was going to be a breeze. And me watching Mo West film, and I thought them watching Mo West film, they would see that this was not going to be a breeze game. And I think it kind of bit us in the butt, and our kids just got to mature and grow from it and learn from it as well.
Thoughts on Missouri, or on your next week opponent, with this being, as much as we say that every team is tough, this is a different one, with Lincoln having struggled so mightily.
They are, but when you see it, they're young. They're very young across the board on the lines as well. Quarterbacks, I think they play 2 or 3 quarterbacks. And their backs are pretty. They got a pretty young football team, and they do some really good things. And it's just one of those games that we can't fall asleep and feel comfortable and let them stay in the ball game. We got to find a way to try to get up on them early and just play football. I think this is the week we really need to really focus on our fundamentals and techniques and get back to the basics and make sure we're doing things the right way, from the way we lift to the way we stretch to the way we watch film. Put more time and effort into those things and getting back to basics. But they are still scary because they do have some talented kids and they do have some athletes. And, if we take them lightly and let them get up on us and let them build some confidence, they can make this a very tough game for us.
Is this in a way harder to prepare maybe for your guys to stay focused for than Pitt State or Northwest, because you know what you have, but it's kind of what you just alluded to? Is it harder to keep everybody's focus, you think?
I hope not. After last week's performance and the way we did things, I'm hoping this week they come in, totally focused and ready to go. Because last week's performance was not good at all, and we got to make sure that we start worrying about ourselves instead, not our opponents so much right now, and worry about the things we can take care in home and make those things better. And that's on us coaches, and that's on our kids, and we're in this together as a team and as a family, and we got to take care of ourselves and make sure we prepare and are ready for this game. So I'm not going to be light in practice. I've already warned them of that. I'm going to be all over them about making sure they're doing the little things right, and they got to be focused and stay focused and not take anybody lightly, because any given day you can get beat.
How are you injury-wise, and your reaction on that hit on the sideline late in the game? Was that a scary situation at first?
It was scary, because you didn't know exactly what was going on. He actually beat us home, which is was the awesome part of it, right? He went to the hospital and got released, and his car ride home was faster than the bus ride home. So he seems to be doing really well. We'll just probably keep an eye on him this week to see how he's doing, and he's kind of up in the air whether he'll play or not. Mikhail seems to be good and ready to go. Perez seems to kind of be in that same boat. We'll just have to see how it progresses through the week and him healing up, and hopefully we get a few guys back as well. So we'll see. Nate has done an excellent job getting these kids back on the field, and he gets them in there in the training room and grinds them and rehabs them and gets them healthy. So with a guy like that in my corner, I wouldn't be surprised if they're all ready to go.
Seemed like on the first 3 games, your first half were excellent, came out with a lot of energy, but this Saturday there seemed to be less. I don't know if it was less urgency or less fire, whatever it was. Did you notice anything in pre-games that would have led you to believe that's how the energy was going to be?
I feel like they were pretty excited, at pre-game. I feel like they had a lot of energy, but sometimes that can trick you as a coach, because sometimes I think we don't have any energy, and all of a sudden we come out blazing and flying around and playing like maniacs, which is what I want. But, this game, I felt like our kids were excited. They're ready to get on the field. Being cooped up in that locker room for so long, they were just I thought they were ready, and they felt ready. I think it's just after that, that play, and, then the kickoff return wasn't great either, and then all of a sudden we have to punt, and then the block punt. I think our kids were just kind of shell-shocked at first. But the thing is, I still think our kids kept battling. I really do. I still think they kept fighting, and they kept playing hard, and they kept trying to make plays, and those plays just didn't go our way. And hopefully they will this week and then for weeks to come on. But I thought the energy was there. I mean, they seemed enthusiastic, before the game and ready to play this game. And, we just kind of fell apart, there at the beginning. But, I mean, I still think our kids kept battling, trying to fight. And I felt a little bit of stress, but I don't think they were too stressed. I mean, I felt like they really did think they could win this game, but we just kept making mistake after mistake.
If somebody would have told you at the beginning of the year that you were 2-2 at this point without telling you which games you had won and lost, do you take that?
No, I want to be sitting here 4-0 right now. I mean, I really do. We're a young football team. If we finish the Pitt game, there's a good chance we could possibly win that one. The Northwest game, I knew if our kids played up to their potential, it would be a battle till the end, and we end up winning that one. This game, I thought if we took care of business, did the things that we were supposed to, and not have all the turnovers that we had in the short, giving them a short field every single time, we probably would have won this ball game as well. But we are 2-2 right now, which I'm gonna tell our kids we're 0-0, and we got 7 left, and we need to take one game at a time, and that's it. Quit worrying about what's to come. All right, let's just take one game at a time and win each game, each week, and who knows how the season ends up.
Is the message that 9-2 is a possibility, certainly there, but is that a message that resonates with kids, or do they I don't know, look at the record? How much of this actually weighs in on them and how they prepare and how they get ready for games?
Hopefully they think they want to end up, 9-2, because in this conference that is really, really good. But there's a tough road ahead of us with a lot of good football teams, still out there to play, and I think every one of them is going to be tough. But excuse me, I got the confidence in these kids, and I believe in these kids that if they put their mind to it and do the things that we ask them to do and truly prepare and work their tails off in practice, they can get it done. But we're just going to take it 1 week at a time, and I got to make sure that this week that they're prepared and they're ready and they've practiced the appropriate way, and then we win. If we win this one, now it's on to the next one. How are we going to win this next one? So, I'm taking it 1 week at a time. I might start grinding them a little bit harder each week possibly, but I got to make sure that they do things the right way.